So in this video, I'm going to teach you all how to cut your own hair in less than 30 minutes. Hopefully after this video, you'll be able to learn a couple things, possibly cut your own hair, and maybe cut a friend's, and save a little bit of money. Alright, let's get right to it. So the easiest way of thinking about how to cut your hair is thinking about lines. So I told you earlier, I use the 1, 2, and 3 to do my cuts. So usually the 1s, I would go right above the ear. The 2s, I'll hit right about the point on your head up here, and then I'll finish it off with the 3s up top. And so you should have 2 distinct lines between the 1 and the 2, and the 2 and the 3. After you have your lines, then you work on blending those lines to get your fade. Right now I'm going to start with just the 1. So this is the 1/8 inch. I just have a wall clipper right here. And there's 2 ways you can do it. Most clippers have an adjustable size and length on how short or long you want your hair. I'll talk more about this later, but for now I usually use so they call this a closed, and this is an open. The open being longer lengths of your hair, and then the closed is shorter lengths. So I'm going to start off with a closed one and go up right above my ear. Go to the left. Cheap your clippers are. Sometimes this does shift. Mine is pretty cheap, as I bought it when I was really broke. So I like to hold it in place just to ensure it stays there. If you're a little paranoid, you can always have a friend or just record yourself with your phone to see how it looks in the back. So it feels pretty fine. Something else is sometimes I like to go back over the hair a few times just to ensure everything's the same length. I'll just go through. It's been about 2 years since I had this now, so it's kind of dying. Alright, so we finished the 1. We kind of have a line here. You can see. Now I'm going to start off with the 2, going just a little bit above this corner in your forehead. Here's the 2, it's 1/4 inch. Snap that in place and keep it at the closed level. Later on, we're going to go back and fade it with a open 1. So 2, just above the point. Same with the left side, a little bit above the point. Kind of see I have my 1 line on both sides, and then I have the 2 going up near the top of your head. I'm going to finish this off with the 3. Don't be afraid to go against the grain as well. I like to go through it just a couple times just to make sure I cut all the little pieces of hair. Okay, so that is pretty fast. That was probably about 10 minutes or so. Should have got all your lines. Now it's just about the blend. So this is a little bit more of a difficult part, but not so much if you know what to do with the length of the clippers. This is a good point to actually go into the mirror and just kind of check that you have your lines where you want them. So I'm fine with the lines where they are right now. So I'm going to start back off from the bottom, going to the top. I'm going to go with the 1 clipper. I'm going to do the blend between the 1 and the 2. So the easiest way to do that is to just put your 1 instead of a closed, you can do, I'm gonna switch it to an open. So what this does is gonna give you an in-between, almost like a 1.5. I'm gonna give you that blend. Remember the line here is right above the ear, so you just wanna very lightly dab it. Quick dab. Hold it on the open, just slightly. Just dab at it. Really trying to get rid of that line. Same over on the left side. Try to use the mirror as a way of looking to see how high my hand should be going as well. Just another way of checking. Hopefully it doesn't look too bad. But usually I go back over later. After I finish the blend, I would just double check with the phone, just record it to see if I had any major places that this really sticks out. So next I'm going to do the fade between the 2 and the 3. Similar to what we did with the 1. This time I'm going to use a 2. Snap that on, put it in the open position. And this was the line between right above the points up to the top. So usually I'm more generous with this one. I like to go a little higher because I like a little bit more of a tighter cut. My cut is usually more of a 1 to a 2, and then the 3 is really for just that little bit, like a centimeter or 2 up on the top. With the 1/2 clipper and kind of catch the baby hairs back here and do kind of a bend from the 1/2 to the 1 back here. My hair grows at kind of an angle, so the 1 doesn't really catch these. I also like to finish the sideburns up with the 1/2 as well. This one I usually like to hold it to the closed, quickly do the sides. So usually I'll go up right before the ear. When you get that close cut, I like to really hold my skin firmly so you can get a very close cut here. You see you just go right up to right before your ear. So for the back ones, I just like to cut a little bit, so I try not to move too much. Just very little nick in the back. That should give it, it's not usually a really clean fade to be honest, but it's better than having the 1. The best thing is actually to have like a friend or something to go back there and really clean that up for you, specifically lining it as well. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to leave this blob up here, trying to grow it out a little bit longer, see how that looks, but that's pretty much it. So the last thing I'm going to do is actually finish the cut with the blade to just get a nice sideburn. If you're from Miami, you know what I'm talking about. And a nice tape or an edge, whatever you want to call it. I don't usually do the back because I don't want to cut myself in the neck, but I'll usually do the sides and up into the forehead. Okay, so right before, usually I like to do this after I've taken a hot shower because it's easier to cut off the little bits of hair with the razor if your skin is warm, so it's easier for the hair to come out. I also like to put a little bit of lotion on my head so it just slides, because if you get cut with this razor, it is pretty painful. Something else I like to do as well is just wet my hand a little bit, put a little bit of water on the places you're going to cut, hold the razor like this. What's important though is also keeping the non-razor hand dry so you can hold your skin. It's very important to hold your skin, otherwise it's very easy to cut yourself. So hold your skin and go ahead and just very lightly push back to clean off the hair as I go. It just makes it easier to see where the line is and how much you have left to cut. But again, make sure your hand is dry so you can pull back on your skin. So after you cut, I usually cut one side, I cut a little bit of a curve. I usually like to go back, keep it straight, and pull back, cut from the other side. Give it that nice uniform look. Okay, then moving my way up to the top, up here. Is a pet peeve of a lot of individuals is you don't want to push back the hairline, so be very gentle and very light. Make sure you always pull back your skin. Alright, so the last side over here, just give a little bit of water. I think it's important to clean off the hair as you go, because if it gets too thick, it's, again, pretty easy to cut yourself. And we'll come back on the opposite side. Be it. Usually like to just wet your face. Come back with some tissue paper. Just kind of wipe it off. Get all the little pieces of hair off. Should be it.